Hello everyone, I am Gyanesh Mishra, and in this video I am going to show you that how we will be able to lift and shift the SSIS packages to Azure. So in this case, first of all, we need few things. We required an Azure SQL database server where the firewall rule has already been set up. So I do have a server where I have already set up the firewall rules, and that's the range of my firewall. Apart from that, I required a tool known as Visual Studio SQL Server Data Tools, because by using that I am going to create my SSIS package. By using that I am going to create my SSIS packages. Now in this case, so I'm going to minimize it, and then as a next step, as in step 1, I need to first create an Azure Data Factory. So I will go to this create a resource and I will mention data factory. So I'm going to select a data factory, create it. I'm going to give this data factory a name, so I'm going to say data factory GM, say 17 or maybe 1. Then in the next step, I am going to my resource group and I am going to click my resource group, and later on I am going to click on this location and then I will hit create. So we need to wait for a while. Meanwhile, this deployment is going to be finished. So as you can see that my resource have been created successfully. So I will click on either go to the resource, or I can click on this triple lines and then I will go for all resources. Within my resources, I have a data factory name which is basically known as your Gyanesh Mishra GM, and that data factory I am going to use on this particular location. So I will click on this data factory and I will click on this author and monitor. As soon as I will reach to this author and monitor, it will open the portal for me, Azure Data Factory portal for me. Now here I will click on this configure SSIS integration, and here I need to give it a runtime. So I'm going to mention it as in GM integration runtime. Description, that's up to you whether you want to give any description or not. That's totally belongs to you. Like for just for a record, I'm going to say for lift and shift of SSIS package on Azure. So I'm using a location South Central US. This is my node size, node number, license we have already taken, and then I will say continue. Now on this location I need to use a user ID and password. So I'm going to use student as an ID and I'm going to use a password as well, and that's my password. So once this password has been done, then I need to click on this continue button. Now I need to create a virtual network. So I will go to this VNet name, create new. So it will open a virtual network portal in front of me where I need to create a virtual network right here. So I'm going to select the same resource group, and the name is going to be factory VNet GM, and then I will go for the IP addresses. Now in the IP addresses, I will set up the IP address at my feasibility. So I'm going to use 10.0.0.0 slash 16. Then I will go down and I will add a subnet. So I need to create add subnet, and I need to give a name to my subnet. So I'm going to mention it as in factory subnet GM, and here I need to give a subnet address. So I'm going to use 10.0.0.0 slash 24. And once I have did this step, add button. Now once this has been done, you can simply go to the security, tags, review plus create, and then you are going to create it. So now you are creating a virtual network. And as you can see, my virtual network has been created. Now I'm going back to my Data Factory GM. We'll click here just to first refresh it. And now as you can see that VNet GM and VNet subnet GM, both are added to it. Then I'm going to click on this VNet validation. So it may be showing you a warning that please ensure that your Azure SSIS integration runtime in the selected VNet subnet can access SSIS DB host. Alright, I will say continue. And as you can see, I got a summary right here. That's my summary, and I will say create. So if I will see the notification, they are just starting the integration runtime because it is already created. Now they are starting the integration runtime. So as the process is completed, now you can see that it's in the running mode. So it means my integration runtime is running successfully. So it means this has been done. Now in the next part, what I am going to do is I am going to design a very simple package, okay, where I may be able to take some data from a location, and then I am going to send this data to another location over there. So here I am trying to access the data from maybe one Azure database to another Azure database. That's one possibility is there. Or if you want to transfer your data from one program to another program, that is another possibility which is there. So just to do that, I may need to use multiple databases, okay, which I'm going to use it right now. So as my integration runtime has already been created right here, in the next step, what I'm gonna do is I will go to all resources, and there I'm looking for a few things. First of all, I need a source, that's my source database, and I require a destination, that is my destination database. Now when I have created this integration runtime, you can see an SSIS DB has already been created right here. So I have a source database and I have a destination database. If I will show you the data inside that, so within my database, and if I will expand the source database, I have a table with name EMP SRC, that is employee source. You can right click on it and then select top 1000 rows. Now you can see I have some data which is stored inside this. That's my data. And I have another database with name destination DB. And in destination DB, I have another table with name EMP DEST. So right click on it. Select top 1000 rows. Now you can see I have a blank table with 3 columns. One is your EID, ENAME and EAGE. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to this Visual Studio. We'll go to a file, new, and then I will go for project. And I'm going to select an integration services, not analysis services. I will go for BI, integration services, and I'm going to create an integration services project. And I'm going to save this integration services on my, let me browse it, in the training folder. I have a folder with name my data folder. So I'm going to select this one, and here I'm going to name this as in my first package, and then I'm going to say OK. Now in this package, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a very simple package where I will take one source and one destination. So I am going to send my data from source to the destination. So in this case, I will go to this control flow, then SSIS toolbox, and from here I am going to select a data flow task. So I'm going to drag and drop it right here on this location, and I'm going to name this data flow task as, so click here, and I'm going to name it as an SRC to DEST. So I'm going to double click on it, and that's my area. So in this case, I will go to this toolbox one more time, and first I'm going to get a source assistant. So it's going to be a SQL Server, new, OK. Now I need to put a server name. So I'm going to say adv server.database.windows.net, and I need to use a user ID and password. So I'm going to say student and then my password. Now when I go for this initial catalog, so in this it will show me the source DB right here. So I'm going to select source DB. We'll click on this test connection because just want to make sure that the test connection has been succeeded, and then hit OK. And then I will say OK. Now in this source, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to double click on it, and I will select a table from where I want to read the data. So I have only one table with name dbo.src. If you will click on this preview button, you will be able to see the preview of this data. That's my data. And then OK. Now as soon as I click OK, the error is going to be removed from here. So you can call it as an source data source. And then I'm going to add one destination assistant as well, just right here. And it's going to be a new SQL server. Or maybe you can simply go to this new. OK. Going to use the same name, adv server.database.windows.net. The student ID is student, and the password is the password, whatever password that we have. From the catalog location, I am going to capture the testdb. We'll test the connection with this testdb, and I will say OK. And then OK. Now I will click here, and I will drag this blue line to this location. In this OLEDB destination, I am going to mention it as in DEST DS. Now in this case, I am going to double click on it, and I am going to select my data source. So that's going to be emp.dst. Then I will go to this mappings table. So the mapping has been successfully created, and I will say OK. And as you can see, my issue for source and destination has already been done. Now in the next step, what we need to do is we need to deploy this project. So if first you want to build it, just use Ctrl+Shift+B, so that you will be able to check that how we will be able to build it, and the build has been successfully done. Go to your proper Solution Explorer. If you want to rename it, you can rename it with your whatever you feel is your customized name that you want to give for my data. Right, project name I have already mentioned, my first package. Project name is the same thing, my first package, and then that package.dtsx I have already mentioned right here. Now in the next step, what I am going to do is I'm going to deploy it. So for deploying it, what I will do is I will go there and I will right click on this project, and from here I'm going to select deploy. So a wizard will be started. Now hit next. Now we have two options, SSIS in SQL Server or SSIS in Azure Data Factory. I am going to select SSIS in Azure Data Factory. That's going to be my next location. After deploying it, that's going to be my next location. I will select this SSIS and then I will say so you need to select the SSIS as an Azure Data Factory and then hit next. Now here you need to give the server name, which is going to be adv server.database.windows.net, and then I'm going to use my user ID and the password, and then I will click on this connect button so that I will be able to connect with my server. Now it is asking me for a path, so click on this browse button and go for this SSIS DB. Within this SSIS DB, if you want, you can create some folder. So within this location, if you want to create a folder, you can add a new folder just next to it, name it as an project folder. So now that's my location, and that's the place where I'm going to save this information in the project folder, and I'm going to send this package. Then I will click next, and then one more time next. We'll deploy it first. So the project deployment is going on. And the project deployment has been successfully done. Now click on close button and go to the SQL Server Management Studio. So in the SQL Server Management Studio, now you need to reconnect. So go to this connect database engine and then click on this first, put your user ID and password and click on options. Now within the options, if you will see, it is asking me to select a database. So click here, browse the server, yes. And I need this SSIS DB, that's database I'm going to use. I will click OK. Once I have selected this and I have said OK, then we will simply click on connect button to get it done. Connected. Now as soon as you will be connected, you will be able to see a folder with name Integration Services Catalog. You can see we have Integration Services Catalog, and within this catalog, if I will expand it, I have SSIS database. In the SSIS database, I have a folder with name project folder, and inside that I have my projects, and when I am going to expand my project, there I will find my packages, and that's my first package which I am going to expand right here. Then go for the packages, and there you will find your package.dtsx file. So that's my package file which I have selected right here. Okay, now in the next step, what I am going to do is I will go to this package.dtsx, right click on it, and then I will say execute. So I need to wait for this execution to be complete. So that's the place. That's my server information. That's my place package.dtsx. You can see parameters, connection managers. Go to the connection managers. You got connection manager, advanced. That's okay. Parameters, and simply say okay. So now you are deploying your package. And say yes. And as you can see, my package has been successfully executed. It has been successfully executed. Now as a next step, what I am going to do is I am going to schedule it. And that scheduling is generally used if you want to create a schedule pipeline. So for that purpose you can do it. So for this part, right click and click schedule. Now it will ask you to use your ID and password. So I'm going to use my ID. And my password. Now once you have reached here, the name is given to it. That's the name which has been provided to it. You can go to this package to check the package here, and you can go to the schedule. In this schedule, I have mentioned it occurs weekly, recurs every 1 week, and you can mention the days where you want to do it. For example, I have keep it to the Sunday only, and then I will say okay and say yes. So just put your user ID and your dedicated password. Now if you will see, one pipeline is created automatically right here. Well, if I will say this pipeline, so in this execute SSIS package pipeline, they have already mentioned the settings, the SSIS parameter, the connection managers which were required for connecting with this particular activity, and so on, right? And then as I have already performed the scheduling by using that, I will be able to follow it right here. Then property overrides, user properties, connection managers. So they have some connection managers which has been connected successfully with my server, and they are providing me all the necessary information which are required, right? And that's my general area, and that's a pipeline which is automatically created by using your Azure Data Factory integration. So this is how you will be able to execute the SSIS packages, and you can integrate the SSIS with your by using your SSIS integrated runtime. You can configure the SSIS integration, and from there you will be able to access your integration runtime. And if you want to check your integration runtime, you can simply go to this connections and then go to this integration runtime, and there you will find I have an integration runtime with name GM integration runtime, which is in running from South Central, and that's my type as your SSIS type. So this is how you will be able to design and develop your SSI, or this is how you will be able to perform the task of lifting and shifting the data from an on-premises Visual Studio data tools to on cloud. So now the final step is about I want to check my data, that whether my data has been successfully copied to the destination when this package was executed. So in this case, I am going to my SQL Server Management Studio. I am going to disconnect this one. We'll click on this connect, database engine. I will put my password right here. Then options, and I'm going to change it to default. And then I will go back to my login. You can minimize the options and say connect. And yeah, don't forget to give a meaningful password. And then as you can see right here, I got this database, and expand the database, and I will check for the destination DB. From the destination DB, we are going to access my tables. And I will right click on this empdest, and just next to it I will say select top 1000 rows. Now as soon as the execution will be completed, you will be able to see that I got this data right here on this particular location. So thank you so much for watching this video, and this is how you will be able to integrate your on-premises SSIS package with your on-cloud SSIS integration services using Azure Data Factory.